So here we are, we're gonna work top down. We've got a mobile welding set up, got the Everlaster here out in the field. We got a straight section of rail to do here, straight section of rail to do here, and then we start working our way down the stairs. We're gonna make custom posts to fit here, custom posts to fit here, straight, angle straight. There's Mr. Jake Freeland down there, getting things moving. Got our little battle station here, so.
We could chase down a shooting star, or maybe two. What you waiting for? We got nothing to lose. Do you believe? Come with me. Are you ready? Hop aboard my rocket ship. Let's head for the eclipse. Ain't no ceiling to hold us down. We can turn it on around. Are you ready? Making wishes, blow your kiss.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Here we are at, we're out of Smith Mountain Lake today, 35 minutes southeast of Roanoke. And we are at the lovely home of one Mr. Mark and Wendy Lucas. And we are continuing this pretty wild metal railing project inside here. And we got the Isuzu set up as sort of a mobile cutting and drilling station out here. We've got lots of steel up here on the truck. We got 1x2 and 2x2. The 1x2 is the cap rail, the 2x2 is the posts. And I'll bring you guys inside to show you what we got going on, what the progress we made yesterday, and what our goals are for today. So here's the house. You walk in the front door, look to the left, and you got this pretty unique staircase. So the story that was told to us was the original builder of the house was hoping to do a curved grand staircase, but every contractor he went through told them no. So this was what they eventually had to settle on, which was a sort of half flight, a landing, another half flight. There's the second story, and that's Mr. Jake Freeland. Hello, Jake. And then on up to the third story with another 3-section stair. So it's quite the geometric anomaly, and there's not a whole lot of 90s here. But in any case, first day we were out here, we set some posts, and then yesterday you can see them up there, I'll show you, but we started welding the frames together. But as we go up, so we'll do a rail on both sides of this, short piece that goes into the wall there. This is like an 80-degree angle, so it'll turn and go that way. There'll be a rail here on this straight section into the wall. Going on up, we'll have a straight section of rail here, and then up the stairs, back to the wall, and then on this side, up, and up. These are all 90s, so that's easier, but the spacing is a little odd. So we're doing kind of what they did before, which is notch the newel posts around the tread and utilizing the existing notches, because we line up the midpoint of this run of stretchers and this point, or stringers. This is what we got done yesterday. As Jake puts it, our picture frames welded together. We got that straight section there, straight section here, and then a sloped section here. We've just been cutting and mitering all these tubes on site and tacking them all together with a TIG welder. Brought the Everlast out to help us do this job. This is that Everlast 210 EXT that I bought a few years ago, and it is doing great. In any case, it can handle 70, 75 amps of power right off the wall outlet. So that's allowing us to TIG and tack everything in place. And then when we get done, we will unbolt and remove our frames, take them back to the shop. And when the frames are back at the shop, then we will weld in all the sticks to fill it up. So today's goal is to finish the picture frames for all of this. And we got a system worked out yesterday. So we should be in good shape. We should at least get to here by lunchtime and then finish this by the end of the day. It's Friday, so we can stay as long as we want. I say we stay until we finish it, but sort of a last minute decision to film this but I figured if nothing else, this sets the groundwork for what will be one of the more satisfying time lapses you guys have ever seen. So, you ready, Jake?
Ready.
Let's do it. Cue the montage. Hello YouTube, it's the last day that Jake and I are here on site finishing this this rail project. I'm gonna give you a quick walk around of what we did yesterday and then I'm gonna put the camera down and get to work. So, let's start at the top. We've come all the way down from the third floor to second. We picked up here yesterday, did that straight section there, and then Jake and I had to figure out some rather complicated compound angles here and here to come over and down, to go down that way. We finally got that done. We got this straight section here done. And now all we gotta do is these two big straight pieces going down the main stair and then like a little 15-inch piece coming this way. All you gotta do.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, here we go. Okie dokie, YouTubes. Jake and I have finished our frames and I will show you top to bottom. First off, this has been our working situation. The old Isuzu flatbed's been coming in huge handy. It's essentially a mobile metalworking table on wheels. Been using the Northern Tool clutch bandsaw that I don't even think they sell anymore. Old Faithful coming in strong. Using this piece of crap. The view actually came in a lot of handy drilling a bunch of holes in this 1/4-inch flat bar for our wall plates. And of course the truck bed is metal, so it just clamps anywhere. I don't want to talk about that. And then we'll give you the MTV Cribs tour here. Starting at the bottom, we got our frames going all the way up. We notched the posts down low to go over the halfway over the tread and up against the riser, and to sit where the existing posts were so that we didn't change much. And then going up, one solid piece. On the left, we've got a little 40-degree jog into the wall. And we'll use anchors here, and we notched into the baseboard on all of them for the 1/4-inch plate to sit. Tigged all of our joints up with the lovely Everlast 210 that we brought with us. We got this was a tough junction here. Also, this middle piece here will unbolt and is flat bar attached to the post. We got our inside corner there, all the way up. These boys, these are the hardest part of the whole thing, wouldn't you say? It's like a double compound angle when we had to do two of them here. It's like 10 degrees out and then some other degrees down. Yeah, we had to split one and not split the other. And then we got second floor. We've got this nice straight rail here, easy peasy. We've got this section here is all one, so straight up, straight. Pretty easy to put together. We decided to keep our posts parallel, just like they were before, which is why we have that interesting joint over there. Normally there'd be a post there, but it's over here. But everything's parallel, and once you have the pickets in place, you'll never know. Well, you guys will, because you're watching this, but maybe Mark is too. Hi, Mark. And then we had actually our first real challenge was this section here. We've got 1, 2 that are welded together, and then we've got a light. we got this part here will unbolt. So we've got a flange here, that'll come off. We'll round those and make them look pretty in the shop. And then we got up and over and a straight section there. Good Lord, that's a lot of railing we've built. Holy cow.
3.5 days.
I just talked for like 2 minutes to explain it all. Well, there you go. So we are, it was 3.5 days in the field, and now they are attached enough to where we can transport them back to the shop. Weld them all up, weld all the fun pickets inside. God, that's gonna be the fun, easy part.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Crazy now.
Yeah. So that's it. Phase 1, this is probably the end of part 1 of the video, so see you next time. Or see you in a second, depending on however Walker edits this. So we're back here at Lift Arc after doing all the infield fabrication of those handrails, and we are in full swing. Wyatt and Jake are foot to the floor, getting all the frames welded up. And of course, once the frames are welded up, then we're gonna start infilling with all the pickets. Again, this is sort of what we're going for. Don't mind the vertical lines I made on there for my own notes. But that sort of style rail is the whole point of this project. And I'm sorry if you're just now seeing that. We could probably put that earlier in the video. But again, we're welding all the frames, grinding everything smooth, and then we'll work together on getting all those pickets in, because that's sort of a random, sort of artistic process. But let's go check in with the fellas. There's all the frames unloaded from the truck. That's everything that Jake and I built in the field. Morning, Wyatt.
Morning, brother.
How you doing?
Doing good.
What's the game plan?
Game plan is to get all of these welds where there's flat on flat. Get the welds flat, because once we powder coat, we want them to look flat.
You'll see it.
We'll see it. So that's got a little more work to go.
We're working it though. We're working it.
Working it. Get the little nuances.
Your weapon of choice this morning?
It's my pea shooter. We call it the cricket.
Jake must be overcompensating.
Doing good.
Right on. Montage.
No matter what you're trying to do, you can't deny the truth. No. And what the people choose ain't really up to you. Actions always find a way to shine brighter than the things you say.
Okay, so I'm starting to cut all the pickets, and what I'm doing is basically there's 31 inches in between our horizontals for most cases. So I'm cutting like some 32s, some 34s, some 36s, and maybe longer ones. That way I have a nice library of pieces to pick from when it goes to start laying all those pieces in there. So I'm using the Ellis over here to just chew through some 1/2-inch round bar. And I'm making a pile down here. I'll show you. Making a pile, different lengths, just chopping through. And then I'll go over there and start piecing them into the panels. I figure this is a good way to sort of streamline some of this stuff, even though it's pretty artistic.
Baby, I should get you along. Baby, you should let me along. Baby, I'm stuck in the know. Baby, you. What else can I do? My mind is set on you. Baby, don't get the phone. Baby, don't leave me alone.
You wanted real fabrication. We're bringing you real fabrication. This is the fun part. You know, we have this inspiration photo that we and the client kind of decided on. And now is when the rubber meets the road. We've made our frames. They're fully welded. They're ground. They're smooth. They're capped. And now we put the icing on the cake. Now we do all the pickets. So my mindset so far has been cut a bunch of random lengths of this half-inch round bar. So we've got everything from 25¼ inches, which is the direct verticals, and then on up to 48 and 60 inches. So I'm kind of doing it in multiple passes. I'll do like a light pass all the way down the panel, and then kind of come back and fill in the gaps as I see fit. A lot of times I'll do the first pass laying flat, and then stand it up and kind of look at it in situ and figure out, you know, okay, I want to fill that hole, that needs a little more, or whatever. Sometimes I cut them off and redo them if I don't like it. But I'm tacking everything in place, and then this Jake over here is fully welding everything, and then Wyatt is working on capping a lot of the ends of the tubes and just doing final touches. So we got an assembly line going. It's nice actually, all the welders that have come into the shop lately, we've been putting them all to work. I'm loving this thing, the Cyclone from Everlast. Jake's using my trusty Miller 212. Wyatt's using his little, red. Yucky. No, it's all right. That's from the golden era of Lincoln TIG. I'm always surprised that my like straight edge, right angle engineering brain can like wrap my head around this. But I feel like I have a decent eye for like uniformity. And so believe it or not, there is a system. There is
Method
structure.
to the madness.
Yes. And here you are. And that's a finished panel, baby. Ready to get paid for it. Almost. This is sort of our inspiration that we've been working on, and I feel like we're getting pretty dang close. The customer, there was a version of this we were looking at before that was more dense, and our fear was that it would block a lot, it'd be very obtrusive. Considering even also because in some places there's you can see two panels stacked, and if they were really dense and then stacked in front of each other, it would be like a black wall of mesh. So we're keeping it fairly light on purpose. Obviously these are more artistic than like structural and, you know, something building code.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about that. We're all good. But anyway, I think it's going great. Jake's killing it. I just finished that one, so you wanna move that over now? Well, I got this one. And this is the biggest single section that we have left, which is actually, these are harder than the small ones because there's less guidelines, and you know, when there's less constraints, it requires a little more creativity. You know, here you got 3 smaller sections, you got a small section there, and then those are actually fairly large. But I mean, sitting here now, we're halfway done with pickets, and we've only been really humping at it for 3 hours. Cruising, man.
We'll cruise all the way to the bank.
Cruising all the way to that steak dinner. So anyway,
about 3 cans of anti-static.
good stuff. So, you know, like where do you start, right? The whole blank canvas anxiety. Sometimes I just kind of pick a corner, and I have spacers that I've been using. So if you think about it, this is 2 inches off the table. This is 1x2 square rectangle tubing. So if I wanted to put a 1/2 inch round bar directly in the middle, it'd be 2 inches minus a half, which is 1.5 inches, divided by 2. So you'd use a 3/4 inch spacer. But because I'm kind of doing 2 layers, and if you put them in the middle, they have to bend around each other. So the first layer, I'm doing a 1/2 inch off the table, and then the second layer, I do 1 inch off the table, and it spaces everything perfectly. So everything's a 1/2 inch from the edge, and they're not being forced around each other. They're sort of laying in there. At first, I thought everything needs to go like meet right in the center line, but it's really not that important. And then really the only other thing is to like really try to avoid patterns. Like you want it to feel random. So anytime my brain sort of gravitates to like, ooh, that's a nice right angle, or that's a box, I try to be like, no, don't do that. And then change it deliberately, like going against my own intuition. So it's a little stressful, but it's also fun. The less I think about it and analyze it, the better it is.
There you go.
That probably goes for a lot of things in life. Overthinking is the gateway to anxiety.
Yep.
Anyway, Jake's giving me the signal. It's time to go.
All right.
Oh, there's a can of acetone in there. Holy shit.
Can of acetone.
It's empty, but it's vapor.
Who wants to get hot?
Is that an explosion?
Yeah, it was. A mild one.
I heard that from the office.
I thought it was a computer.
I thought something fell.
So did I.
I thought another transformer blew up. Holy shit. Well, yeah.
See if I can get a smoke ring.
There it was.
Where's the Go? Oh, did the GoPro catch that?
Well, it's on time-lapse mode.
Oh.
You know, we don't need to show much. We're coming down to the wire, man. Definitely some shorts. I need a bunch of the 25 Walker's got to get the shot.
Sketchy at all. Get your harness on.
Yeah. This is what we're willing to do for the right shot, viewers. Don't ever say Walker didn't do anything for you. You got the whole table? Heck
My
yeah.
head is blocking most of the shot. It's so wide.
I had to
Too much.
I had to film it, so Jake.
Yeah, no. What's happening?
Wyatt fucked up.
Yeah. Fixing Wyatt's warpage.
One left.
We saved the best for last.
Hey, there you go. Look at this monstrosity. This thing is huge.
It ain't light. Other than a quick quality control check, we are all done. Woo! Woohoo! Quality checking, quality checking, quality checking.
It better be quality.
Yeah, or else we'll blame Wyatt. Use anti-spatter, it's your friend.
This is me in the doghouse right now.
I'm gonna have to. I made a slide hammer. I've got to pull. There's a giant dent in here now.
We don't need any commentary.
It should speak for itself. I'm gonna shift gears. So we're gonna load the truck with all these rails and bring them to the powder coater.
Real quick before I turn the camera off, what is the plan of attack here?
Well, I haven't even explained what happened, have I? Even though it doesn't need to be explained.
It's kind of self-explanatory. In the footage, it's self-explanatory.
We think our welds are bad. This is horrible.
Ooh.
We were loading the truck, trying to get everything to the powder coater before the end of the day, and this was hanging. Actually, that side was hanging off the truck, and this side was up against the wall. So when that side hit the door on the way out, it pushed this side, and automotive designers would call this a crumple zone. So we're gonna have to heat this up and wrestle it flat and straight, and then I'm gonna plate this C channel. So this is notched out to fit over the riser, the tread, riser, tread, stair anatomy. This sits against the riser, and this sits on top of the tread. So, you know, in grand scheme of things, it's not going to be heavily scrutinized. It's not like that, you know.
It's not a showpiece.
No, not by any means. So we're just going to heat, you know, some of this could be cold formed again. I'll put a giant, you know, because I could move it. I'll put a giant adjustable wrench here, maybe a pipe wrench, and kind of go that way. I'm going to have to heat something because otherwise I'll probably tear it because metal gets work hardened. So work hardening is when you bend metal, everyone's like a paper clip. You can bend the paper clip until it breaks. So that's because the metal gets hardened and therefore brittle by doing that. So I'll have to heat sort of this area and just make it come back around. And then I'll brace it so that doesn't happen again. And then I'll load it into the truck differently.
Okay.
So tomorrow, these will go to the powder coater, all before lunch. This will go to the powder coater, that'll go to the powder coater. They're yelling at me to get that over there because the powder coater needs a certain amount of time with it, and their show is at like the end of March. It's March now, and it usually takes 2 weeks turnaround for powder coating. So, but in real time, it's going to take 2 weeks for these to get coated and for us to go install them. So this is realistically the end of the handrail video. Thanks, computer. Wyatt's gonna make noise while I'm talking. This is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. What a monumental effort on all parts. Couldn't do it without this guy. And
You could have done without the mess ups though.
Jake, that was the other project. Jake has already found a comfortable bar stool for the night. So, but shout out to that guy because he kicked ass.
He busted ass.
Welding all this stuff up. You know, I was playing artist and he was actually making it all stick. So the merch place lost my check for a little while and they just found it. So sorry, t-shirts are delayed a little bit.
A little behind schedule, not our fault.
But soon we'll have t-shirts, and soon we will launch our Patreon. Special thanks to Arc3 and Everlast Generators / Welders for the support of the channel, and thank you guys for your support. Everything means a lot. Like, subscribe, comment, high five each other. Tell your family you love them because you could be hit by a bus tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Our door has seen better days.
She's my lover.
Well, there you go. It's fixed. Good enough, I'd say. I think it's ready for powder.
Yeah, blows my mind. She's my lover.